Hopefully we're recording. All righty, you guys, welcome, welcome, welcome. I am super excited to have you guys all on this call on a Friday night. So thank you guys for dedicating some time so that we can all grow our skills and take our businesses to the next level. What we're gonna be doing tonight, you guys, is we're gonna go over 7 stages of inviting on a call. I know Annabelle has been training and teaching this. Some of you guys may have already been introduced to it, but I want to make sure that our whole team has this because I am so proud of my team. You guys are growing, we are duplicating, and it's happening fast. So I am super excited that we get to do an official first training all together and not a bunch of one-on-ones, okay? So everything that you guys are going to see tonight, it's going to be recorded, so don't panic if it seems like we're going through it fast. I will also send this to you guys in an email, so I don't want anyone worried. We're gonna do the 7 stages of inviting, and then I'm gonna teach you guys 7 ways to get a yes. This is a communication technique. We call it closing. I know some people don't like to say that word, so you can say collecting. This is how 7 different ways of collecting the answer. And then we're gonna go through the personality. I sent everybody in an email the personality test. So I hope you all printed it out, that you've taken it, and that you have done the little legend so that you know what you are, and we'll briefly talk about that. So let's go ahead and get started. All righty, thanks everybody for being on the call. We're all muted and it is recorded so that you guys do know. I just want to give a shout out to Fabian real quick. I know he's not on the call just yet, but he shared these slides with me, so they look awesome, and I'm gonna share them with you guys. How to call someone you know for an initial appointment, all righty? The 7 steps. Step 1 is we wanna acknowledge the awkward, okay? 2 is we wanna explain to them why we're calling. So many times we're calling someone we haven't spoken to in a long time, and so it can be awkward, and you definitely wanna get right to the point on why you're calling. 3, we want to go over the agenda and time frame. This way, they know why we're calling. They know what it is that we're calling about, and what's going to happen, and how long it's going to take. This will give them a little bit of ease, you guys. 4, we want to remove the pressure to buy. That's always a big one. Anytime you're inviting somebody over to a party or to look at a product, usually the first question in everyone's mind, other than do I need it, is I wonder how much it's gonna cost and do I have to buy right away. So we wanna go ahead and we wanna remove that pressure immediately so that they're open to just looking. 5, we wanna confirm they are open to an appointment, okay? 6, give a choice of 2 times. You guys are gonna see this a little later in my slides. This is what we call the which close. Okay, so when we give them options, it makes it a little easier to get a yes. Alrighty, but I will teach you guys a couple different options. And then the last stage is offer webcam or in person. We all know right now people are busy and getting somewhere in person can be difficult. So luckily we live in this age of awesome technology, and we are able to offer FaceTime video, Facebook video, Zoom calls, you name it, you guys. We have all of these options open to us, so there's no reason for us to not get the opportunity in front of them. All righty, so right here, you guys, here's those 7 steps, and this is what a call would sound like. Now, this is very generic, very direct, okay? Hey, it's Eureka. Did I catch you at a bad time? Why do we say bad time, you guys? We want to say bad time because if you say, hey, did I catch you at a good time? Many times the answer is going to be no, because let's get real. Who's at home completely comfortable doing what they're doing and the phone rings? It's never a good time because you've interrupted them. So, hey, did I catch you at a bad time? Do you have a couple minutes? Usually they're going to say yes. If they say, no, actually, you caught me at a really bad time, then you say, hey, you know, no problem. When's a better time for me to call? I just wanted to chat. Let them tell you when is the better time to call. Mark it down, you guys, and then make sure you call them back. Hey, I know I'm totally calling out of the blue. I'm calling to get your thoughts on something. I've started my own business selling the Better Body System by Yoli. And as part of my learning process and getting started, I'm trying to set up appointments with people I know so I can get comfortable sharing health and wellness. All righty? That's the second line you want to say. Now you can see I put in parentheses or enter your own reason for calling. Okay? 3, we'd go over your health goals, a little about the company and the Better Body System. My part takes about 40 minutes. This will be a taste and learn. This is us giving them the agenda and the time frame, you guys, so they know they're not going to go somewhere and be sitting for 5 hours thinking they're buying some kind of crazy timeshare. All righty? We want to let them know the time it's going to take and what we're going to do. That way there's zero stress. You don't have to buy anything if you don't want to, but if you see anything you want, I'd be happy to help you get it ordered. That is us removing the pressure to buy. Is that something you'd be open to? At this point, you guys, we close our mouths and we wait. Even if it is like killer silence, wait it out, you guys. You've asked them a question, let them think and formulate their answer and wait for the answer. The important thing, you guys, is between 2 to 5, that needs to be so fluid and so natural that you don't get interrupted. Because if you get interrupted between stages 2 to 5, you're going to face some objections that you're going to have to tackle right away. Whereas if you can get to 5, you may only have one objection right here because you've already answered the other ones and telling them the agenda, the time frame, and you've already removed pressure to buy. Those are usually the 3 major objections that should come up. That part, you guys, only takes seconds. I know it looks like a lot, but it really does only take seconds. Once they've said yes, hopefully, right? You'll say, great, we can do 5:30 or, 8 o'clock, which works better for your schedule. Now, you guys, it's so important that when you make these calls, you already have the intention set and you've already looked at your calendar. So you know what times you can offer. You're not asking them what time can they do, and then you look at your book and it's not going to work for you. Already have those times open, okay? Also, if they say yes, and they say, yeah, I can do the 5:30, you may then want to see right then and there, is it possible you can get a referral? You can say something like, hey, I'm trying to get 2 more appointments this week, or is there anyone you would like to bring with you to this presentation? And if they're like, actually, yeah, I'd like to bring my friend, I say, okay, well, what's her name and why are you bringing her? That way I already know from her friend or maybe the spouse what it is that person might be looking for before they come. This person's already said, yes, you guys, why not ask for the referral right then and there? Do you want to bring someone with you to the party? I'm totally open. You can bring a guest if you like. All righty. Last thing, we close with, great, we can do this in person or over webcam. Which would be better for you? Now, number 7, you guys, I actually don't always do. I only do number 7 in the event that number 6, I've given them times and the place and they've said no. Now go back to 5. Is this something you'd be open to? They said yes there, but then when I gave them what I had open and the times open, they said no. They could say no for several reasons too. Maybe the times truly don't work for them. Maybe they don't want to be in a big party setting. So if you get a no to number 6, you might say something like, well, listen, I know that this is something you really want to see and I want you to see it. I don't want you to miss this opportunity. Is there any way that we can do this over webcam? Right? That's the only time I use number 7. If they've already said yes to number 6 and they've committed to a time and a place, they're open to showing up to actual BBP, which you guys, I do feel when we can get them live and in person to a BBP, that your chances and stats on closing is going to be a lot higher than on a video call. And I feel like it's going to happen a lot quicker and sooner when they are in person. So that is why I don't offer the webcam right away. I wait until I've gotten the no to in person and then I go to the webcam. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and move forward. What I would like everyone to do, and this is not for right now, and keep in mind, I'm going to send this to everyone, is I want you all to write your own approach. Because remember, I said this is very generic and very direct, right? So if I was calling somebody that I did know, maybe my number two wouldn't sound like I've started my own business selling the Yoli Better Body System as part of my learning. I might say something like, hey, John, you know, it's Eureka. How's it going? Let them respond, right? Talk a little bit. Then I might say, hey, you know what? I remember a couple weeks ago, you were mentioning a couple of health concerns that you and your son were having. And I'm calling because I'm actually having a party. And I would love for you and him to get away and come to my party. It's going to be about the Better Body System by Yoli. And when you arrive, we're going to go over your health goals. I'm going to tell you guys a little bit about the company. You're going to get to taste the product. And, you know, there's no pressure to buy anything. I just want you to see this because it's been in the back of my mind what you've said. And I think I have something that can help. That would be my reason for calling. So if you have a reason, you guys, that's your number two. It doesn't have to be what is written here in this example. Okay. I'm going to save questions for the end, you guys. So that is our 7 stages for our call. We're going to go ahead and move into our art of yes. Okay. I kind of like the number 7 tonight. You know, we've got 7 stages in how to call somebody. And ironically, you guys, there's 7 stages to the art of yes. Alrighty. So this is communication techniques to help us get more yeses from our prospects. So collecting an answer, you guys, is getting a response. It may not always be the one you want, but there are ways of asking things that give us a better shot at getting the right answer. Now, you guys can see I put here bonus if you can translate these techniques to your prospect's personality color. I know for some of you guys are new on the call and you don't understand the personality colors just yet, but you will a little later. So the first collection is the ask question, you guys. This is the most direct type of question that you're most likely to ask. And it is the easiest one, you guys, to get an answer you're not going to be happy with. This is the one you should really stay away from unless you really know this prospect and they are a no-nonsense, direct type of person. So what does an ask question sound like? Example 1, are you ready to purchase a transformation kit? If you ask your average person straight out like that, you guys, the answer is probably going to be, maybe, I need to hear more about it. Well, I don't know. How much does it cost? It's a scary question, guys, to have it that direct. Example 2, can you attend the BBP? Very straightforward. And example 3, will you be joining us at Transform You event? Hey, you guys, I know it's not called Transform You anymore. I know it's called Momentum, but just for nostalgia's sake, I'm going to leave it there, okay? So I want you guys to look at those 3 examples, and I need you guys to memorize them. Because what we're going to do right now is as we go through the next 6, I'm going to always be referencing those 3. So are you ready to purchase a transformation kit? Can you attend the BBP? And will you be joining us at Transform You event? Those are 3 dangerous ways of asking. So unfortunately, these are the most common types of questions that you can get an easy no from. So it's a good idea to learn the other communication techniques. So the second technique, you guys, is called a minor issue question. Sometimes you can avoid the main issue by talking about something less important. By getting them to agree to a minor point, they're agreeing to the major point. So here's going to be the examples. Going back to those 3 ask questions, guys, I'm going to show you how to turn it into a minor issue. So number 1 was, are you ready to purchase the tea kit, right? It would sound like this. Hey, would you be interested in tasting the products that are in our kit? That's a better way at getting to, are you ready to purchase a tea kit? That's a minor issue. Number 2, would you be interested in hearing a testimonial from someone like yourself? That's how I get them to the BBP instead of asking straight out, can you go to a BBP? Number 3, how would you like to grow your business with in-person training from our top leaders? They say yes to that. Well, that's how I'm going to get them to Transform You. Instead of asking them, hey, are you joining us at Transform You? No, I'm busy. I can't, money, whatever it is. But if I came at them with these minor issues, I'm more likely to get a maybe or a yes than if I just did the ask. The minor issue, guys, assumes that they're going to do what you want them to do, and they are agreeing to do something else. The something else should be easy to commit to, so you get a yes to both questions, the one asked and the one assumed, okay? Number 3 is the which question. This is the one they teach us in Yoli. This is the one we tend to use the most. This is an awesome, awesome option, okay? But it's good to know the other options, you guys, because we don't want to always rely on one way, because one way is not going to work with everybody. The which question, you give them 2 choices, but both choices give you a yes instead of one. Let's take the same 3 example ask questions above, okay? So the first one was, are you ready to purchase a tea kit? It might sound like this. Do you prefer the discount as a preferred customer or business member? And you guys can see I put in parentheses. You can say, hey, a lifestyle kit versus tea kit. You know, which do you want to do? Are you paying with Visa or MasterCard? Packets or canisters? All of those things, you guys, are considered which questions, okay? By doing this, this will get you to ask the ask question and get that yes. Example 2, can you make the BBP Thursday or Sunday? Or maybe you might offer one-on-one versus the group setting. Or maybe you say video versus in-person, right? You guys saw that in our, the 7 stages of a call, right? We had this which question. Number 3, you guys, example 3, which event are you looking forward to at Transform You the most? When you ask them that and you show them what's going on, you're starting to get them to look at the option. You might get them to commit to one of those, and that gets you to get them to commit to that ask question, which was, will you be joining us at Transform You? I put in parentheses there, you can use events versus event dates. Note, you guys, urgency is always the event coming up the soonest. So if we can get them to that event, the next event will be easier to get a yes to, okay? 4, the physical collection. This, I do believe, is the second one here in Yoli that we use a lot. A physical collection, you guys, is where we get the person to actually physically do something to commit to whatever is being questioned. So a physical action or commitment holds us accountable. Using the question above, those 3 ask questions, we're going to turn them into physical questions now, or collection. So example 1, it was, are you ready to purchase a tea kit, right? It might sound like this. Hey, let's fill out the order form together. You know, and I might slide that order form right to them. I am now making a physical action with this prospect to getting them to that yes. Taking a payment, that is also a physical collection. Handing them the kit in their lap while they are deciding with that form, that is a physical collection. By the way, you guys, sliding the form, while you're doing that, you can also use the which close. Hey, you know, let's take a look at the form. Would you prefer the discount as a PC or the bigger discount as a business member? Right? So the physical collection, you guys, is huge. Example 2 was back to getting them to a BBP. It might look like this. Hey, let's put you on the list for the BBP. Let's mark it in our calendars. I always say list, you guys. Everybody believes when I invite them to a BBP, just like my group classes, because I teach dance, they believe I have a list. They all think I have a list, and I tell them, your name's going to be on the list. And then I freak out, and I call Annabelle, and I go, hey, you know, can we just write these names down so that when they get there, they see that they're already on the list. And many times, you guys, just something I use, I say, hey, listen, you don't have to pay for it. I've already got your ticket covered. They believed I paid for their ticket. right? They're gonna feel like they're gonna wanna hold themselves accountable because they know that this person is making a sacrifice for them. This person's going out of their way to make sure that they're on a list and that they have a ticket and they have a spot. Every single person I invite to a BBP or super BBP believes they're on a list. When I say let's mark it in our calendars, you guys, I've seen a lot of people do this, and we need to be very careful. They say, hey, I want you to put it in your calendar. And then they don't stay and watch that person put it in the calendar. And then they say this, hey, well, I'm putting it in mine. Don't worry, I'll send you a reminder. You guys, the moment we tell them we're gonna send them a reminder, it lets them off the hook from putting it in their calendar. And then when you send that reminder, because we're definitely gonna do what we said, they're gonna be like, oh man, I forgot. Well, why did they forget? They forgot, you guys, because we didn't make sure they physically put it in their calendar. Okay? Do not tell them you're going to send a reminder until you sit there and you watch them put it in their calendar. You've put it in yours right there. Everyone's got their little Palm Pilot out, their iPhones, whatever it is. You mark it, they mark it, and you say, I know, Marlene, that was funny, huh? I went old school with Palm Pilot. You guys have marked it, then you tell them, hey, and don't worry, I'm going to touch base 24 hours beforehand just to make sure we're good. I do not say that until I've watched them do their part, you guys. Okay? Number 3 was all about getting them to TU, Transform You, right? So physically, a physical collection might look like this. Hey, let's schedule a time to reserve your spot at Transform You and look over the itinerary. Right? Something I might do is I might talk about early bird specials. I might help sign them up right then and there, walk them through how to purchase their ticket. Getting their flight info, you guys, is all part of a physical collection because you're making sure that they are committing and being held accountable. Their hotel information, all of those are just things to lock things down more in place. 5, the assumptive collection. This is one of my absolute favorites, you guys, to do in my other work life. I'm working on how to really master this in Yoli, but the assumptive collection. This communication technique actually doesn't require any response at all, you guys. Nothing. Requires no response from them. You just make a comment that assumes the person's going to do what you request. So going back to those 3 examples, are you ready to purchase a tea kit? I might say something like this in passing conversation because, you know, we're always dropping seeds. Hey, I can't wait for you to have your own amazing transformation experience. I have said this to a couple of my people. One of them, who's taken me 1 year, she is currently on a kit right now. She's in her 3rd week. She's a trauma nurse, and she's lost 15 pounds. That's what she told me this morning. I'm super excited for her, and she's going to go on to another kit. She has been my follow-up for 1 year, but I have made sure I've been dropping all of these assumptions. So I've always known at some point she was going to do a kit, and she knew I knew she was going to do it. You know, and I told her, I can't wait for you to have your own amazing transformation experience one day. I cannot wait. Number 2 was all about attending the BBP. It might sound something like this. I'm looking forward to seeing you there at the BBP, and walk away, you guys. If you're talking with a group of people, you're talking with some people and you've been mentioning it and they haven't been answering, or they kind of say yeah and but they're not committing. You're like, hey, you know, hey, I'm looking forward. I'll see you tomorrow at the BBP. Put it out there, you guys. And the 3rd one was about getting them to Transform You. It might sound something like this. I can't wait for us to go to Transform You and ... I've used this with a couple of my business members. I know Kelly's on this call and a few, you know, and Tudor's on the call, where I've been like, hey, you guys, I can't wait to go to Mastermind with you guys next year. They're all coming with me to Mastermind, you know, but I dropped that forever, and I invited them, and it comes from a pure, genuine place because I know what an amazing event it is. I know what it's done for me, and I really, honestly can't wait to see what it's going to do for them. Same thing with conference, you know, we have to drop these seeds well in advance, but you have to assume, because in their mind, you guys, we hold some kind of stature in their eyes, And if they think that we are assuming they're going to do this, they're going to want to do it. Okay? We'll say this, naturally, you guys, your relationship with that person must be strong enough that it's not unnatural for you to make these assumptions. Don't try this on some prospect that you're not friends with, you guys. This is for people you have a good relationship with already, where you can make assumptions, okay? If you do not have that kind of relationship, doing an assumptive communication technique is more natural and more likely for a yes. I'm sorry, if you have that kind of relationship, than actually asking them to make a decision every time. So sometimes you get to a point where you have someone that always comes to a BBP, maybe a business member, you can just assume they're coming to the next one. Hey, I can't wait to see you there next weekend. Okay. Number 6 is the special inducement. Sometimes you need to sweeten the pot. That's what this one's all about, sweeten the pot, which means to give a little something extra to make it more enticing. Here are 3 examples of those same ask questions, and I'm going to show you guys how we use it to sweeten the pot. So back to that first ask question, it was, are you ready to purchase a tea kit, right? It might sound like this when I'm sweetening the pot. Hey, did you know the average person loses 16 pounds on the tea kit? I can't wait to see the results you'll be having in just the first 2 weeks in. For them, you guys, they're realizing, wow, like I'm going to start to have some kind of results that quickly, that soon. I may say that in conjunction with another one of those collections, you guys, with another one of these communication techniques. 2 was all about getting them to the BBP. It might sound like this. Hey, here at the BBP, you will get to enter the raffle and taste the products in the tea kit. Something else I wrote in parentheses, you won't have to wait for your kit because we'll have some on hand. That can sweeten the pot for some people, knowing that they can go there and they can get it right then. They can get their kit then, they can get any of the products right then and there. You can use testimonials, you guys, to sweeten the pot. Also, did you know so-and-so will be there? You know, we don't think all the time to use other people to sweeten the deal, but you should. So if I know I have a brand new business member who hasn't been to many events yet, I might say, hey, listen, I really want you to come to this Super BBP because Brian McCoy is going to be there. And he is one of the very first business members of Yoli. And I really want you to hear how he did it. Right? I'm name dropping. Someone just got on the call. If you guys can mute yourselves. Let me see if I can mute that. I'm really going to name drop and connect the dots to that person. And I'm going to use that as a special inducement, sweeten the pot. This is why I want you to be at that BBP, not just because of all the amazing things that you're going to see and taste and that is going to help you, but I'm just further sweetening the pot. Number 3 was getting them to transform you. It might sound like this. Hey, at Transform You, we will get to meet the leaders and have company training. Other things you can talk about to help sweeten the pot for someone who's on the fence, early bird pricing, who's going, once again, you guys, name dropping, the culture, proximity, right? So sometimes we have these events that are so close to someone. I know if I have someone in Ohio and we have this event right there in Pittsburgh, I'm definitely going to create this urgency for this person to get there because proximity-wise, it is so close. I don't want them to wait till the next event when this one is just right there in their own backyard. Same thing with our own events, just locally, you guys. Use that proximity and urgency to get them there. Another thing you can use, you can get products firsthand, right? And exposure to things first come, right? So those are some examples on how to sweeten the pot. And the last one, you guys, is the impending event. I think we do this sometimes too with Yoli. Collecting an answer is easier when there's a sense of urgency. So often there are things coming up in the future, which makes it easier to get the person to agree to things today. So going back to those 3 examples, the first one was about the tea kit, right? We might say something like, hey, you know, flu season's just around the corner. Let's keep you and your family healthy. That's an impending event. We know that the season, and this is an example, you guys, we can come up with a million examples. You can use promos. So we know here very shortly, actually, Yoli, I know last year did a holiday promo. I can use that impending event to try to get them to get that tea kit, or to get them to a BBP to get the tea kit, right? The holidays, those are always impending events. Personal events are impending events. Weddings, reunions, traveling, right? Traveling, you guys, is something people do all the time, even if it's just for work and we don't think about it often, but we can be connecting the tea kit to what it will do for them while they're traveling. I have one guy that likes to hike. So I'm telling him all the benefits on the tea kit and some of our products like pH2O, how that's gonna make his hiking trip so much more pleasant. So his impending event is just going hiking. And so I'm connecting the kit to his event, which is hiking. Example 2 was try to get them to the BBP. It might sound like this. You know what's awesome? We hold a special CAP party. For those of you guys who don't know what that is, it's a customer appreciation party. For those who come to our BBPs, we'd love for you to be part of our family. So I'm using the BBP to leverage another personal event. So, you know, I can let them know we've got this really cool customer appreciation party coming up at the end of the year that we do for the holidays. I really would love for you and your family to come and party with us, have a great time. It's a great way to ring out the year and begin the new year. You need to come to the BBP so we can get you there to our customer appreciation party. Okay, so that's an impending event. And that's also a little bit, you guys have sweetened the pot. Okay. And number 3 was all about getting them to a big event like TU. Hey, let's make sure we don't miss this super BBP so you can meet Brian McCoy, example, in a smaller setting before Transform U. So once again, you guys, I'm using an event to lead to the bigger event. An impending event to lead to the big event, which is obviously Transform U in that example. So, and I chose to use a person, like, hey, I really want us to go to the Super BBP because of X, Y, and Z. And what's awesome is you're gonna get to meet this leader in a much smaller setting where we can really talk to them one-on-one before we get to Transform U. I can also use, and I wrote it in parentheses, training elements. This could prepare you to meet other people from our team members, connect networks, etc. You guys, the list goes on to what you can come up with. So you guys, you can use more than one of these communication techniques to help get that yes from your prospects and help start their journey to success. The people first attitude is a major part of getting a yes. What they want must be priority number 1, you guys. If you do any of these from your own personal agenda, it will never work the way it should. So when you're choosing these, you guys, you've got to be coming from a place of leading with their need, not yours. All righty, let me go back real quick. We are good on that. Okay, I'm going to ask everyone to unmute themselves. Awesome. Okay, so everybody should have received a personality profile in their emails, and I hope you all printed it out and did it. So what I want to talk about is here's the scoring sheet. Let's see if I can see everybody. I'm trying to find a way where I can see everybody.
You got to see her come to council? How'd you get so cool all of a sudden?
Okay.
Look.
Who all do I have on here that scored mostly popular sanguine? Annabelle, who else?
Maybe we should figure this out. Maybe I should just...
Is it just Annabelle? I can't see everybody.
I didn't get to do it yet.
Okay.
I will do it.
My top points with that as well.
How about who on this call do I have as powerful caller?
Oh, I did the first part, but I didn't do the scoring, I guess. So.
You're right.
Okay, nice. Alan, we got his choleric. Okay. How about perfect melancholy?
Time for some tips. I don't give you
Yeah.
any tips.
I'm perfect
I don't
melancholy.
give you any tips.
So Kelly and Tudor. Awesome, perfect. And how about peaceful
How
phlegmatic?
necessary would you say that weight is? Very.
That was my
totally
eye.
think it brings out
Tudor as
color in
well?
my eye.
Okay, cool. So I'm gonna go ahead and color
What are you
code
doing
this
for
for you
sit
guys,
down? Act like it's the only place to
okay?
sleep.
So popular
Isn't this awesome?
penguin, which I believe was Annabelle, right?
Awkward pause alert.
That's
What do
blue.
you do? Compliment her eyes or shoes.
Somebody's, Eureka, somebody's
Everybody.
background noise is really high.
Okay, let me go ahead and
I
maybe
can
it's
barely
like
hear you.
There we go. Thank you. Oh, she can't hear me.
Good.
Maybe
Thank
everyone
you.
hear me? Awesome. Okay, so the popular sanguine, that first column, you guys, in our Yoli chat, which is this. I don't know if you all have this book by Big Al Schuster. Okay, Yoli gives us, most of our leaders all ask us to get this book and read it. And this is why, you guys. This training that I'm giving you right here is a training that was given to me 7-8 years ago that I'm very, very familiar with. And I think a lot of times we read this book and then that's it. We just read the book. But honestly, you guys, if you can take this knowledge and you can apply it to your prospect and recognize their personalities, it makes it so much easier to lead with their need in their actual language, okay? So that popular sanguine, that first column is blue. You guys are gonna wanna write that down. That second column where it says powerful choleric, those are our reds. I think we said that was Alan. I think Alan has his hand up, someone else.
Dan.
Dan's red, okay. And the perfect melancholy is greens. And that just leaves that last peaceful phlegmatic is yellow. Now, the reason why I asked you guys to do this is for several reasons. One, it is so important to know your strengths and weaknesses of your personality. We all have a mixture. And not only do we have a mixture, but in different parts of our life, certain parts of these personalities are stronger. So maybe as a parent, your personality changes a little bit. In your work life, maybe you are more choleric or melancholy. But typically, when you take this test, the top 2 scores are your natural personalities, okay? Whatever scores you guys have the weakest on, those are the ones you'll want to work on so that when you meet those kind of people, you know how to speak their language. Because the ones you score the highest in, you're already natural in. But the nice thing about knowing who on your team are what colors is so that we can leverage that, you guys, in BVPs and super BVPs. If I know that I have 2 prospects coming to a BVP and they are blue and I'm not very blue, I'm gonna wanna make sure that someone who's giving a testimonial is blue and that I have a leader there that has that blue personality. Right? This is us leveraging the skills, making sure that we get the opportunity to connect to our prospect better and deeper, which means getting to that yes is a lot easier, you guys. Okay? So here's the personality cheat sheet, all righty? I'm not gonna read the top part because I'm gonna actually send this to you guys in an email. But the choleric, which is red, those are straightforward people. Bullet point, no frills, ask for permission. You guys, those people tend to be leaders and also bossy as one of the weaknesses. So you telling them or assuming something with that person, I see Kelly pointing to Dan. So Kelly, I'm making your life a lot easier right now, honey.
Yeah, that is so, everyone, I'm like,
Right? So with these people, they're very bottom line people. And as Big Al says, they're money people. So usually you need to get straight to it. They're very logical, okay? Melancholy, AKA our green people, you guys. These are detail-oriented, methodical, they take out the emotion. So you guys trying to play on the emotion when you're trying to sell this kit, it's not gonna work with these people, okay? They're also logical and they don't like to be sold, okay? Big Al calls them the information people, okay? They are usually your ones that are like, I don't know, I need more information, all righty? Speaking about that, I just want to go back real quick to when we talked earlier about the call. Sometimes we'll get an objection, and this can be a whole nother training, but you'll get the objection at the beginning of somebody saying, well, I don't know if I can go. I feel like I need more information. You guys, the intention of the call is to get them in front of the information. So direct them back to setting the appointment. Because that call, that first thing we did in this training with those 7 steps was about setting the appointment, okay? So if they're like, well, I don't know, I need more information. You're like, great, that's why I'm calling you, because I wanna set the appointment so we can sit down and I can show you all of this, okay? I just wanted to touch on that really quickly. Alrighty, moving down to our sanguine, that's our blue. They are flowery, descriptive people, you guys. These are the people you want to paint the story. You want to put emotion into it, okay? They are big picture people. You have to hit them on all the senses. Big Al says these are your party people. My blue people, when I call them to invite them to something, I'm gonna start off right away like, hey, John, how's it going? You know, it's Eureka. What's up, you know? I'm talking to them and say, hey, listen, I'm really excited because I know you and your wife need a little date night and some time out with some friends. You want to come over because I'm having a party. I'm having a party and I really want you guys to get away, get out, come to my party. It's a tasting party. I know you've mentioned that you have some health concerns. It's going to be this day, this time, this place. It's going to be about 40 minutes. It's going to be a real good time, right? I'm not going to say, come to a presentation. These are party people. I'm gonna say come to a party, right? My green person who is detail oriented and wants that information, I'm gonna say presentation. Okay, going down to phlegmatic, these are yellow people, right? These are people pleasers. They're very agreeable. Take their temperature. What does that mean, you guys? Always check in with them and ask them, you know, what do you think? Because a lot of times they'll just be saying yes, but in their mind, they're really thinking no. And they're not gonna tell that to you because they're people pleasers. So we have to check in with our yellow people and get feedback. They also, just like green, they don't like to be sold. Okay, so with them, it's a little bit straight to the point. Do check in, take their temperature, and they are our help people, okay? So that's what Big Al says in the book. He describes them as being our teachers, our nurses. Honestly, for me, I believe all of these personalities are personalities that do like to help. They just help in a different way, okay? So with that being said, you guys, my big plan is now that our team is growing and it's growing so rapidly and so fast and we are duplicating out, we are rocking out, I want to get on these calls, you guys, at least monthly. And at some point, as our team is growing faster and you guys are having more and bigger teams of your own, we may have to go ahead and do this a little more frequently. And I know I work with some of you guys already one-on-one, but I do want to get these calls going at least monthly. And what I want to do on our next call, you guys, is I want you all to practice writing your own approach using the 7 steps of setting the appointments. And I want you to do this and incorporate the 7 yeses and personalizing it to your prospect, to the personalities. So you should have 4 different approaches written. You should have 1 for blue, 1 for red, 1 for yellow, and 1 for green. Now, the yes could be anything you choose, okay? But the format for setting the appointment, you guys, that's the same. So you're really just plugging in what is natural for you, okay? And making it fit those personalities. Our next month's call will be November 15th at 8:30 p.m. We'll be going over what you all bring to the table with the invites and personalities. So please keep it short. Keep it short, guys. This doesn't have to be some long, drawn-out thing. Remember, I said calling someone and join the invite should really only take a few minutes, okay? Keep it short, keep it simple, and to their need. Next month's call, you guys, it is going to be interactive. I'm telling you that right now. So have this ready, because what we're going to be able to do is, as we listen to each other's invite call, it's going to help other personalities listening. So I can tell you right now, I would love to hear someone else's for, red and yellow. And I know already from the show of hands that we have some red and yellow here in this room, okay? This will help all of us steal some verbiage, some different ideas on how to do the inviting, you guys, and personalizing it more to the prospect. That's the biggest thing. We want it to be natural. We want it to be personalized, and we want it to feed their need. Questions, guys? Let me stop sharing so I can, do I have any questions here? Awesome. Well, if there's no questions, you guys, thank you guys all so much for getting on the call. I hope that you guys all get to enjoy the Hunter's moon. I don't know if you guys have all looked outside, but the moon is beautiful tonight. So be safe and have a great Friday, you guys. I'm going to go ahead and stop sharing my screen.
Thank you.
Thank
Thank you.